Hello, today we're going to discuss Vygotsky's learning theory and more specifically, zone proximal development and how it impacts problem-based learning. While Vygotsky's learning theory was created many years ago, it still has a large impact on our current online and traditional learning environments. First, let's go ahead and define what the learning theory is. Learning is the active creation of knowledge structuring from one's personal experience. Our individual personal experiences are based specifically on social, cultural, and interaction with a specific culture. In other words, our learning is heavily impacted by our real-world life experiences. Vygotsky's theory in relation to instruction. This can be either traditional and, in this case, online learning as well. So instruction is crucial to cognitive development in the classroom. Additionally, ZPD, which is zone proximal development, contributes to the learners in a very positive way. Similarly, scaffolding is going to be an attribute of zone proximal development, which is going to offer support for all of the learners as much as they need, but it's going to be slowly weaned off as they continue to gain confidence in their skill. Zone proximal development provides support in a scaffolding fashion that is transferred from a teacher to peer, and that goes to the student and the learner. Zone proximal development also allows the student to practice critical thinking while also being able to support the needs of the learner. Let's discuss how this relates to instructional design and online learning specifically. People are very social online. This creates understanding and knowledge. There are a lot of group interactions that you can implement into your learning, and that just improves the overall experience for the learners because it gives them a little bit of the same experience as they would in the traditional learning environment. The encouragement of online group work allows for students to interact as they would in traditional learning, as I previously mentioned. How does Vygotsky's learning theory contribute? Briefly summarized, Vygotsky emphasized the power of social interaction in a learning environment, meaning that we are meant to live in community with one another, and we learn best, we have the best learning experience whenever we are in a compact environment with a lot of people in a classroom environment. And if it is an online environment, then that is also a great way to learn, and there are many benefits to both. The ability to learn from others who are more knowledgeable or experienced in a certain area allows the learner to observe and then practice or retain certain skills or understanding. It's very beneficial for the students to observe the high educator, and from there they're able to they're kind of like sponges. They absorb all the information that they're learning from the teacher or the provider, and they're taking that to their real world experiences and outside of the classroom pretty much. So how does this relate to problem-based learning? Both zone proximal development and problem-based learning are foundationally built on learning objectives in a standard concept. This keeps the learning organized and on task. Zone proximal development, it's a mouthful, is not a universal development. Rather, it's dependent on each individual learner. This is something that's very important that teachers or educators must consider because there are multiple different learning styles and multiple different learners. Therefore, we want to scaffold as need be. Some students may be a little bit more independent, while others may need a little bit more support, and that is totally fine, and we have to just act accordingly. Both this learning theory and problem-based learning are very focused on cognitive and independent supported learning. So while we want the student to be individualized, we want them to learn on their own, we also want them to know that it is okay to ask questions and they should be comfortable doing so in our environment. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little video.